Ismail Haniyeh's story is deeply intertwined with the Palestinian struggle. He was born in 1962 in the Al-Shati refugee camp in Gaza City. His family was displaced from their original home during the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. Growing up in a refugee camp shaped his worldview. He witnessed firsthand the hardships faced by Palestinians. Haniyeh pursued higher education at the Islamic University of Gaza. He became involved in student politics. He joined the Muslim Brotherhood, the ideological precursor to Hamas. Haniyeh's charisma and oratory skills quickly made him a prominent figure. He was known for his fiery speeches advocating for Palestinian rights. During the First Intifada, which began in 1987, Haniyeh played an active role. He mobilized support for the uprising against Israeli occupation. His activism led to his imprisonment by Israeli authorities on several occasions. His time in prison further solidified his commitment to the Palestinian cause. In 1987, Hamas emerged as a significant force in the Palestinian territories. It was founded during the First Intifada. Hamas combined Palestinian nationalism with Islamic ideology. The group quickly gained popularity. This was due to its social services and resistance against Israeli occupation. Haniyeh's close association with Sheikh Ahmed Yassin, the spiritual leader of Hamas, cemented his position within the organization. He became a key strategist and leader. Haniyeh's pragmatic approach and ability to connect with ordinary Palestinians proved invaluable. He played a crucial role in expanding Hamas's support base. He oversaw the organization's social service network. This network provided essential services to Palestinians. These services included healthcare, education, and financial assistance. This further endeared Hamas to the population. Haniyeh's leadership qualities were evident. He rose through the ranks of Hamas. He became a key figure in its political bureau. In 2006, Hamas participated in Palestinian legislative elections. The group's victory surprised many international observers. It signaled a shift in Palestinian politics. Hamas's victory was partly attributed to its image as a strong and unified force. This contrasted with the corruption and factionalism within Fatah. Fatah is the dominant party in the Palestine Liberation Organization, or PLO. Haniyeh became the Prime Minister of the Palestinian Authority. His appointment further intensified the rivalry between Hamas and Fatah. The international community was divided in its response. Some countries refused to recognize the Hamas-led government. They demanded Hamas renounce violence and recognize Israel's right to exist. The situation escalated in 2007. Hamas seized control of the Gaza Strip. This followed a brief but violent conflict with Fatah. The Palestinian territories were effectively divided. Fatah retained control of the West Bank. Hamas took control of Gaza. As Section 4, the Gaza Strip under Haniyeh's leadership has been marked by significant challenges and efforts to navigate a complex political landscape. Haniyeh's leadership has been tested by the complexities of governing Gaza, a region fraught with economic hardships and political strife. The Gaza Strip faces numerous challenges, including widespread poverty, high unemployment rates, and a crippling Israeli blockade that has severely restricted the movement of goods and people. These include poverty, unemployment, and a crippling Israeli blockade that has been in place for over a decade, affecting every aspect of life in Gaza. Haniyeh has sought to consolidate Hamas's control over the region, navigating both internal and external pressures. He has also attempted to address the dire humanitarian needs of the population, which have been exacerbated by the blockade and ongoing conflict. His government has implemented social programs aimed at providing relief to the most vulnerable segments of the population. It has invested in infrastructure projects, including the construction of new buildings and the repair of damaged infrastructure in an effort to improve living conditions. However, the ongoing blockade and recurring conflicts with Israel have hampered development efforts, making it difficult to achieve long-term progress. Haniyeh has also faced internal challenges within Hamas, including managing tensions between the political and military wings of the organization. There have been tensions between Hamas's political and military wings, with differing views on strategy and governance. There have also been divisions within the political leadership, with various factions vying for influence and control. Despite these challenges, Haniyeh has managed to maintain a degree of stability in Gaza. ensuring that basic services continue to function. He has presented himself as a pragmatist, engaging in diplomatic efforts to garner international support and alleviate some of the pressures on Gaza. He has sought to avoid escalation with Israel, recognizing the devastating impact that renewed conflict would have on the already beleaguered population. However, he has also remained committed to armed resistance, viewing it as a legitimate means to liberate Palestinian territories and achieve national aspirations. This stance is seen by many within Gaza as a necessary component of their struggle for self-determination and sovereignty, despite the heavy toll it takes on the region. As Section 5, the shadow of conflict wars in Gaza, the region has been a focal point of intense and prolonged conflict, with the scars of war etched deeply into its landscape and the lives of its people. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has cast a long shadow over Haniyeh's leadership. His tenure has been marked by a series of confrontations and political maneuvers aimed at addressing the ongoing strife. Gaza has experienced several major military confrontations with Israel. These confrontations have not only shaped the political landscape, but have also had profound impacts on the civilian population. These include the 2008 to 2009, 2012, and 2014 wars. Each of these conflicts brought with them waves of destruction and loss, leaving the region in a state of perpetual recovery. These conflicts have resulted in significant casualties. The human cost has been staggering, with thousands of lives lost and many more injured. They have caused widespread destruction in Gaza. Entire neighborhoods have been reduced to rubble, and the infrastructure has been severely damaged, making daily life a struggle for the residents. Haniyeh has condemned Israeli actions. He has been vocal in his opposition, often using his platform to highlight the plight of the Palestinian people. He has accused Israel of war crimes. These accusations have resonated on the international stage, drawing attention to the severe humanitarian issues in Gaza. He has also called for international pressure on Israel to end the blockade. The blockade has been a significant point of contention, severely restricting the movement of goods and people. Haniyeh's role in these conflicts is a subject of debate. While some see him as a defender of Palestinian rights, others view his actions as exacerbating the situation. Some argue that he has adopted a more pragmatic stance. They point to his efforts to secure ceasefires, which have occasionally brought temporary relief to the region. They point to his efforts to secure ceasefires. These ceasefires, though often fragile, have been crucial in providing brief periods of peace and allowing for humanitarian aid to reach those in need. Others accuse him of using the conflicts to consolidate his power. They argue that his leadership has been more about maintaining control than achieving lasting peace. They argue that he has prioritized armed resistance over the well-being of the Palestinian people. This perspective suggests that the focus on military action has overshadowed efforts to improve living conditions. The wars in Gaza have deepened the humanitarian crisis. The ongoing conflict has left many without basic necessities, and the international community has struggled to provide adequate support. They have also fueled a cycle of violence that seems intractable. The repeated outbreaks of violence have created a sense of hopelessness, with each new conflict further entrenching the divisions and suffering. Section 6. International Perspectives on Haniyeh and Hamas. Ismail Haniyeh and Hamas remain controversial figures on the international stage. Their actions and policies have sparked intense debate and varying reactions from different countries and international organizations. The United States, the European Union, and other countries have designated Hamas as a terrorist organization. This designation is based on the group's history of violence and its stated goals, which include the destruction of Israel. They cite the group's commitment to armed struggle and its refusal to recognize Israel as key reasons for this designation. This stance has led to numerous conflicts and a lack of progress in peace negotiations. This designation has had significant implications for Haniyeh and his government. It has not only isolated them politically, but also economically, making it difficult to govern effectively. It has limited their ability to engage in diplomatic efforts. Many countries are hesitant to establish formal relations or engage in dialogue with a group labeled as a terrorist organization. It has also restricted their access to international aid and financial assistance. Sanctions and funding restrictions have made it challenging to address the humanitarian needs of the Palestinian people. Despite these challenges, Haniyeh has sought to cultivate relationships with regional actors. He understands the importance of regional support in bolstering his political standing and providing much-needed resources. He has maintained close ties with Turkey and Qatar. These countries have provided political support and financial aid, helping to alleviate some of the pressures faced by Hamas. He has also reached out to other Arab states. By engaging with a broader range of countries, Haniyeh aims to build a coalition that can advocate for Palestinian interests on the international stage. He has aimed to garner support for the Palestinian cause. Public opinion in many Arab countries remains sympathetic to the Palestinian struggle, and Haniyeh seeks to leverage this sentiment. He has also sought to break the political and economic isolation of Gaza. The blockade has had devastating effects on the local economy and the daily lives of its residents. However, Haniyeh's efforts to engage with the international community have been met with mixed results. While some countries are open to dialogue, others remain firmly opposed to any engagement with Hamas. Some countries remain wary of Hamas. They view the group's militant activities and hardline stance as significant obstacles to achieving lasting peace in the region. They view the group as an obstacle to peace. The ongoing conflict and lack of progress in peace talks are often attributed to Hamas's actions and policies. Others have shown a willingness to engage in dialogue. They believe that including Hamas in negotiations is essential for any comprehensive peace agreement. They recognize Hamas's influence in Palestinian politics. Ignoring such a significant player, they argue, would undermine any efforts to achieve a lasting resolution to the conflict.